Hello, this is Sean Hopwood, and I'm with Day Translations Incorporated. Here we are with Rania ready to do our second interview in our series for interviews and conversations with translators. This again is our goal is to give you an idea of what translators do, the human aspect of what it is to be a translator, and to pull back the curtain a little bit to let you get to know better about the complicated nature of translating a document. And today, as I said, we're speaking with Rania Mershak. She's a translator from Beirut, Lebanon. She is a professional, certified, and public translator, and she's a copywriter, and she's also the founder of her own translation agency, which is called Trans Premium. The website is www.transpremium.com. Hello, Rania, how are you?
Hello, I'm fine. How are you, Sean?
I'm very good. And so, Rania Mershak is an Arabic, French, and English translator. And so we're going to get more insight into what it means to be an Arabic, French, and English translator. It's a lot different than being a German translator or a Spanish translator, and we're going to get more into that soon. But first of all, I would like to ask one of the questions I like to ask everybody, which I think is very interesting, because it tells a lot about who you are and your background and where you came from. Rania, what does your name mean?
My name, Rania, it comes from a verb in Arabic, which is rana. It means to gaze at something for a long time with still eyes. It also means to listen carefully.
Okay, and that's
it's an adjective.
That's very interesting. And like, I've studied Arabic myself, and I was wondering, do you find that there's a lot more words for things in Arabic than there is for English? Like,
I think it depends. Maybe there are more synonyms. But I'm not really sure, because the English language is also a very rich language. I think each language is rich in its own sense. So I don't think you can compare languages. Every language is unique.
Okay. And I know I introduced you the languages that you speak, but could you just tell me more about, tell me all the languages that you speak?
I speak Arabic, of course, it's my mother tongue, and English, French. I was born in Morocco, so I understand Moroccan. I used to speak it fluently, like the Moroccan dialect, but since I've moved back to Lebanon, it's been like when you don't practice a language anymore, you kind of just forget about it, like you forget it, but I can still understand. I understand a little bit of Italian too.
Oh, that's very nice.
I can just speak a couple of words, not much.
Very nice. Yeah, I actually did a study abroad in Morocco, and Moroccan Arabic was very different. I actually studied the true Arabic, but when I was in the house and in the streets, I was speaking the slang that they have there, and it's very different than the Arabic that you learn in college. It's
Exactly.
like a mix between Berber, French, and English, right? I mean, and Arabic,
Exactly,
right?
yeah. Yes, it is.
Yeah.
It is.
So,
There are even tribes. I think there are 3 different dialects or languages, Berber languages in Morocco that tribes speak.
oh, wow.
And they are really, yes, I think they are really official. I think one is called Tamazight, and
Yeah.
I don't remember the other 2, but they are really popular there.
Yeah.
Not just the Moroccan Arabic,
Yeah,
if you will.
it's very interesting. And so, a little bit more about you. How would you describe yourself?
Basically, I'm a lover of life. I love adrenaline rush. That's it. I love life. I love everything that's like full of energy. I'm a ball of energy, basically.
That's very nice. And what is your background? I understand you were born in Morocco, and then after that, what happened?
Yeah, I was born in Morocco, and when I was 10 years old or 9 years old, we moved back to Lebanon, my family and I, and yeah, I've been in Lebanon ever since. So that's it, basically.
Oh, very nice. And how did you get into the field of translation and interpretation?
Oh, ever since I was a kid, I always loved languages, and I loved English a lot. I used to write. I used to write stories, and even in French. My father is an interpreter and a translator, and he always saw this potential in me, but I never saw it in myself. I used to say it's just a hobby. I just want to speak languages like to have broader horizons. But when it was time for me to major in college, he like somewhat forced me. Like he said, you have to do this.
Yeah.
And I did it, and I can't thank him enough. I absolutely love my job, and I think I'm meant to do this. I love it. It's my passion.
I totally understand what you mean. I didn't know exactly what I wanted to do either, and my grandfather he guided me. I wanted to be a pharmacist, and I really didn't know anything about it. I just chose something, and then my grandfather said, "No, you're good with languages. You need to be involved with language," and so. I actually stopped I was in pharmacy school. I dropped out of pharmacy school and I started studying languages and everything like that. And I think parents sometimes know they can see things in you, and sometimes when you're young, you're lost, and your parents are there to guide you. So I think that's really nice.
Absolutely.
and
Yeah.
and
That's
so
exactly what happened with
yeah,
me. He
exactly.
guided me, and it's really funny because I think because when you're a teenager and you're trying to be a rebel, and no, my dad wants me to do this, I don't want to do it just because he said that I have to do it. I think this is what happened with me. But when you grow up, you think that wow, they were there for you, and it's amazing
Definitely.
that I really love it. Yeah.
And definitely. And from what I understand, I believe there's 22 countries that speak Arabic. I'm not sure about that, but when you're doing translation projects, do you find that people understand all the dialects there are, or do you have to guide them more? Do you tell them, I'm going to translate this into modern standard Arabic, or I'm going to translate this to Lebanese Arabic, or do they ask you more? How does that work?
Basically, I think I'm lucky that I'm Lebanese because all 22 countries understand Lebanese perfectly. And if there's, in terms of interpretation, for example, if I'm like translating simultaneously into Lebanese dialect, even if there are Syrians or Jordanians or any other nationality that I'm translating for, they would understand. Sometimes maybe there are like a couple of expressions or a couple of words, but I can still manage to translate in classical Arabic. So basically, Lebanese is really like easy and everyone understands it. I don't know about maybe if I'm translating into Syrian or Jordanian, maybe it would be a little bit hard.
Yeah.
But then again, I can still translate in classical Arabic and everyone understands.
Yeah, and that's something as a manager of a translation company myself, we often have to educate our clients. I know you might have more clients who understand the differences, but a lot of times my clients don't understand. So we have to explain them modern standard Arabic or Fusha and Lebanese Arabic,
Yeah.
Egyptian Arabic are all different. So yeah, that's something that's really important. And so I understand you are a translator and an interpreter, right?
Yep,
Yeah.
I am.
And which do you think is harder, translation or interpretation?
I don't think you can compare the two. I think every one of them is different, is hard in its own sense. Translation requires you to do a lot of research, and you have more time, but you have to have an impeccable text, a target text. It has to be cohesive and coherent and 100% accurate. Whilst in interpretation, you have to do it on the spot. You have to have your brain ready at all times to come up with a sentence that is correct and to convey the message and the meaning as accurately as possible. But in my opinion, as far as I'm concerned, I love interpretation more. I think it's because of the adrenaline rush that like you're doing it on the spot.
Mm-hmm.
But yeah, then again, I cannot compare the two. I mean, I think it would be unfair to compare them. It's like you're saying an interpreter is tougher, or he's a better professional more than a translator. I don't think this is the case.
Yeah.
For example, you have literary translation. It's really hard. Like, no matter how successful of an interpreter you are, literary translation is really hard.
Yeah, and then people are always going to want to critique your translation. I mean, if you did a perfect job,
Yeah.
someone will see a literary translation different. But sometimes people have to understand that there's more than one way to translate something sometimes. And so, yeah.
Exactly.
And so, do you have any anecdotes about your language, or anything that you would like to talk about? Any?
Yeah, well, actually, coming from Lebanon, basically a lot of, like, the majority of Lebanese speak at least 2 languages. So, you have a lot, like you have about 60% of Lebanese speaking 3 languages, which are Arabic, French, and English. And you have the Armenian Lebanese; they even speak 4 languages. We have something that we're really popular for doing, which is code switching.
Yeah.
Like, we know all these languages, but we don't always get to use them on a daily basis. We don't have a lot of like foreigners, to speak with them. So we speak between each other, and it's really funny that we use different languages in a single sentence. Like, for example, we have a very, very popular sentence when you greet someone and you're asking about them, like how they're doing. You say hi, kifak, or kifik if it's a girl. Ça va? Ça va is in French for are you okay? Are you doing well?
Yeah.
And hi, of course, it's in English. And you have the kifak or kifik, which is how are you? So this is one of the notorious sentences like we use.
Yeah. I know Beirut is very cosmopolitan. It has been known as the Paris of the Middle East. Yeah.
Yeah, it is.
So, in your life, who has inspired you the most, and why?
That would have to be my children.
Yeah.
Because when I don't want to be like too cliche, but seriously, when you become a parent, your whole perspective changes. Like, you look at things differently, you look at life differently. And although my father is my role model, but my children are my inspiration. And I look at my 6-year-old who speaks 3 languages fluently, and I'm amazed.
Wow.
I mean, he is 6 years old, and he speaks English and French and Arabic, and he amazes me. He even tried to speak Spanish. He said, "I want to learn Spanish." I said, "Mom, we say mom, like I call him mama, but his name is Maroon." I said, "Maroon, you're still young. You have to wait a little." And you won't believe what he did. He actually went on YouTube and started playing Spanish videos.
Oh, yeah.
And with English subtitles or with French subtitles, and just started learning. And he'd come to me and say, "I learned this and I learned that," and I would be amazed. So definitely my children are my inspiration, like, to keep learning. Even if I'm 50 or 60 years old later on, I still want to learn new languages or whatever it is in life. You have to keep learning.
It's amazing, and young people can really do that to you, kids, and they can make you feel younger. They can push you, and they can make you remember the things that you forgot. Remember, and help you.
Yeah.
Give you the passion that you sometimes you can lose it sometimes, but youth and kids can actually bring it back to you, which I think is very amazing. I don't have kids, but my employees and the people I work with, a lot of times they are very passionate about working with me, and so they bring that to me. And I was going to ask, so since you have kids and you're a translator, do you think that's a good job to have? Since you have kids, does it allow you more time with your kids? Does it allow you to give them more attention, or does it interfere with your work a little bit, or a little both?
And maybe a little bit of both, but I wouldn't have it any other way, because I think I am blessed to be able to I cherish the time that I spend with my kids. And translation, and especially that I'm blessed enough to be able to work from home. Of course, I have field assignments and everything, but you are able to manage your time better and to spend more time with my kids. And this is amazing. Like it's really amazing that I can get to do what I love. And maybe I wouldn't call it a job. I mean, I really like it. It's my passion. I do what I love in life. And I get to be around my kids more often, which is amazing.
That is great. So, and on all the translations that you've done, is there anyone that sticks out or anything that comes out in your mind that's very interesting? I know as translators, we see so many different things every day. We get an inside view on so many different people's lives, on businesses and everything like that. Is there anything that sticks out to you that was very interesting to you that changed your life in any way?
Actually, there is. I think in 2008, I translated a book for Pierre Ducamp. It's called Je ne sais pas maigrir, which is I cannot lose weight. I translated that from French into English. It gave me a lot of insight on food and how to eat, how to eat healthy, and I completely changed my entire diet and my entire lifestyle based on that book. We eat healthy. Like I lead a healthy life. I try to cook as healthy as possible for my family, and I'm a little like I wouldn't want to call myself too obsessed with it, but it's good to feel good.
Definitely.
So this is what this book gave me. I know all the even the smallest of details about foods and the composition and the nutritional value of each food. That is amazing.
Yeah, and you might not have read that book if you weren't translating it, and you were getting
Absolutely,
and you were getting paid to do it. So
maybe I would have never even heard about it.
Yeah, so that's really nice. And is there anything that people are surprised to know about you?
I think there are. In another life, I would have been either a chef or a personal trainer, and I know that's like extreme. I mean, a chef, basically a chef or a personal trainer. But I love food. I love entertaining. I love cooking a lot. It's my other passion. I'm also like a fitness freak. I love working out, and like I said earlier, I love adrenaline rush and I love extreme sports. But working out like from home, and I inspired a couple of my friends to actually hop on the fitness bandwagon, if I may say, and that was really fulfilling. That was really rewarding. So yeah, I think I would have loved to be any of that, and my friends are surprised, and people in general are surprised that I love these two fields, which are really contradictory, like food and fitness. But in a sense, because I love like I'm into health, they complement each other. Like health and fitness, they go together.
Definitely. So in wrapping up, I would like to ask you something that maybe a lot of our viewers, a lot of the people listening are going to want to know about. Is there any advice that you would give to someone? Anything that you've learned from all the work and all the years that you've been translating? Is there any advice that you would give to someone who's trying to enter the field of translation and interpretation, who would like to grow and maybe get to your level of success?
Oh wow, get to my humbly speaking, I'd say never give up. If you have a dream of becoming CEO, having your own company, and having being your own boss, just never give up. I remember being a fresh graduate, and it took me like 8 or 9 months, and I wasn't making a single buck. I wasn't making any money out of translation, but I never gave up, and I established my own business, and I've been my own boss ever since. So it's really important to never give up and to keep learning. I'd say keep learning every single day. Like every opportunity has to be educational.
Definitely, and it's a very good field for anyone to get into, especially people who love languages, people who want to help each other. It's an excellent field to get into. We always have excellent people who are applying to our company every day, and I think it's wonderful. So, in conclusion, that's Rania Mershak. Anyone who wants to learn more about her and read her articles on her blog or learn about her company, go to transpremium.com. And I really thank you for your time. Thank you for all the insight that you've given us into the translation field, specifically Arabic and French and English. And I really am very grateful for the time you've given to us. So thank you very much.
Thank you for having me.
All right. Bye.